Hi, I'm Dr. David Dow, and here we're in our rehab area, and I want to answer a question that I hear so often, but can acupuncture help me get pregnant? Now, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is if you're a man, it'll never ever work. It'll never get you pregnant. But if you're a woman, can it help you get pregnant? Sure, yeah, it definitely can help. And I want to go a little deeper now and explain why that can work. But one of the things is if you're under stress, and I learned this a long time ago when my kids were being born, but we were learned to figure out what our tigers were. So like, if there are certain things that are in your environment that'll stress you out, and actually even during the birth process, like if you're getting stressed during the birth process, a normal 4, 6, 8 hour birth can turn into a 20, 30, 40 hour birth because it turns off the parasympathetic nerves that allow your body to work better. So when you're under stress, there's two systems of the body. There's a system called the autonomic nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system is all the things that the nerves do in your body that you don't have to think about. So we have our sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight system on one side, and we have our parasympathetic, which is our calming system that turns off the sympathetic nervous system. So if we're under that stress all the time and the sympathetic nerves are going all day long, your body can't handle that, and it releases cortisol, and it can do a lot of damage in the body because we're only supposed to have adrenaline in bursts. So like the bear walks into the room, we need the adrenaline to get away from the bear. But we want that to turn off as soon as that's done, because when that bear comes in the room, your body says, all right, we don't need sleep, we don't need fertility or reproductive organ function, we don't need digestion, and it also says we don't need healing. So our bodies might not be healing the way they're supposed to. So when we can stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is what acupuncture is so good at, then that's going to turn off that sympathetic nervous system. And those nerves that are for the parasympathetic are going to be at the base of the skull. Those are going to be the strongest, right up here at the top. The green nerves on this chart, they go all over the body, and they have a calming effect on all those different organs. The other place that has a real strong parasympathetic nerves is right down here at the low back, right in this area called the sacrum. And this green nerve here is called the pelvic nerve, and that goes right to the reproductive organs. And it has a calming effect on those, and it actually stimulates them to be more active and function better. But when you're under stress, your body just turns that right off, so that those are not working the way they're supposed to. Now also up at the base of the skull, these nerves are also going to go to an area right up in here that relates to the pituitary gland, and that releases 17 different hormones down to the body that relate to fertility. And if there's an injury going on in there, that could really be stopping the fertility as well. And now there's a new one that a lot of people haven't heard about, but they've been doing these new MRI studies that have been showing how the flow of the cerebral spinal fluid that comes up and goes around the brain and comes back around through here, how that cerebral spinal fluid, if the pressure of that is building up in the brain, that can push against the pituitary gland and actually damage the pituitary. So there's really only two things that can damage the pituitary. One is a tumor, and if there's no tumor in there, the second one is if you have that increase in cerebral spinal fluid pressure. And that can actually come from a loss of curve in the neck. So we've actually found that by improving the curve in the neck, or even doing things like chiropractic adjustments, can increase the flow of that cerebral spinal fluid. But you got to keep the pressure off of there so that that fluid is flowing. And that's one other thing that we do for our patients, is show them how to do that. So fertility is something that we found has been really easy to correct, and it's actually easy to test for those things to see if that's actually a problem that you're having. So if you have questions or you want to learn some more about this, we're here in our center here in Madison, Wisconsin. Our phone number is 608-233-3588. Feel free to give us a call. Celeste or I will help you out with that and get you back so you can start having some kids. All right, have a great day.